So in case you haven't heard the news, I'm not trying to lose weight anymore. Hello my friends, welcome back to my channel for kind of an announcement, but not really, because if you've been following along for any amount of time as of late, you already know this, but I am currently in a season of life where I am no longer trying to lose weight. And it is weird, and it is different, and it is awesome all at the same time. But today I wanted to actually sit down, or stand up, I guess, because I'm standing, and tell you about it. I am in the middle of what they call a reverse diet, and I want to tell you everything that I know so far. My experience, what is a reverse diet, all of the 411. The day that I am filming this video is about 2 weeks before it's actually going live, so the numbers that I tell you in this video will be higher, Lord willing, by the time this video goes live. But I wanted to let you know that because reverse diet does involve frequent change, which is very strange for somebody who has been in a caloric, striving for a caloric deficit for a very, very long time. So let's chat about my experience with a reverse diet so far. First, what is a reverse diet? A reverse diet is taking the number of calories you're consuming in a day from a caloric deficit and gradually increasing them to end up at maintenance mode in such a way where your body does not gain any weight in the process. What does that mean? Well, if you are somebody who is in a caloric deficit for an extended period of time, for the sake of numbers, don't ever actually eat this low, but let's just say 1,000 calories is what you eat in a day. That's your caloric deficit. That's what you're using to lose weight. Eventually, your metabolism, the fire that burns all the food and all the energy, is going to learn that you only eat 1,000 calories in a day and it's going to adapt. It is called metabolic adaptation, and that is what causes people who have been in a caloric deficit for an extended period of time to have a harder time losing weight at a lower calorie intake. Our bodies, our metabolisms adapt to the lower calorie intake and make adjustments accordingly so it can live off of what you're feeding it. This is what people have loved calling starvation mode. It's not starvation mode, it is metabolic adaptation. And the result of metabolic adaptation is you have to cut even further in order to continue to see weight loss. So the healthy way to fix this is, of course, to increase your calorie intake and get that fire that's now a little spark burning down here to be a rip-roaring fire of a metabolism once again. But, and there's a big but here, if you are eating 1,000 calories a day, again, too low, but if you're eating 1,000 calories a day and you go, okay, well, my maintenance mode is 2,000 calories, and you slap all of those calories on at once, what do you think is going to happen for the metabolism that is now primed for a 1,000 calorie diet? That's right, you're going to gain weight, and you're going to gain weight fast. Even if that number of 2,000 is ultimately your maintenance mode calories, your body is not ready for that. So the way to prevent this weight gain from happening is to slowly add calories to the fire so your metabolism starts to burn as you increase, right? And the result is no caloric surplus. Your body keeps up and you end up maintaining your weight all the way up to maintenance mode. That is the experience I'm trying to put my body through to the best of my ability as we speak. Next question is, of course, why? Brianna, why are you putting yourself through this? Why are you deciding to let go of weight loss? Here's the honest to God truth. I've been going up and down the same 5 or so pounds for the last year and the same 10 or so pounds for the last 2 years plus. And quite frankly, I'm tired. I am tired of always going up and down and never having the control. I want to blame my lack of willpower, my lack of whatever the case may be. I don't see the results that I ultimately desire. And when I got introduced to this idea of macros and reverse dieting and eating in maintenance mode, even though you're not at your weight loss goal, my life kind of changed because I stopped and I thought about it. And I have been in weight loss mode in some way, shape, or form, whether successfully or unsuccessfully. I have been in the headspace of I need to lose weight since 2008. It is 2020, ladies and gentlemen, and I think it's time I step off that roller coaster for a little while and enjoy where I am at. So that's why I started this entire thing. I was like, you know what? What's the worst case scenario here? I either fight tooth and nail, get disappointed when I give in to cravings, and get disappointed when I'm lethargic and tired because I'm not giving my body enough energy, or sleeping terribly, and all the things that come with prolonged caloric deficit. Or I get angry when I'm not following my food plan because I'm so hungry and I overeat. Or I'm angry because the scale's not doing what I want it to do. I could be angry and be struggling and still be this weight, because my weight hasn't gone anywhere but up and down the same 5 or 10 pounds for the last eternity. Or I can reverse diet, eat in maintenance mode for a few months, get that metabolism burning again, remember what it's like to eat ample amounts of food and not gain weight, although I've never actually experienced that. That's gonna be a whole new experience in and of itself, because I'm either in weight loss mode or I don't give a you-know-what mode and overeating. There has not been any middle ground. I'm introducing myself to the middle ground. And after I spend a couple of months with a burning metabolism at a higher caloric range, and maybe I'm eating at 2,000 or 2,200 calories a day and not gaining any weight, then, and only then, I can cut my calories to 1,700, be in a caloric deficit, a higher caloric deficit, with a metabolism burning at 2,000 or 2,200, and lose weight effectively and quickly, and then be able to go back up to maintenance mode with my job done. And I just feel like at this point, instead of going up and down, what do I have to lose by waiting a couple months to go into a caloric deficit again? Nothing. I have everything to gain. I can gain the control. I can gain the metabolism that I probably trashed years ago and haven't gotten back. I can gain muscle. I can gain PRs in the gym. I can gain so many things. And the only thing I won't be losing is the weight for now. But I have the goal of doing that later. There's no reason for me not to do this, and I'm excited, I'm scared, and right now the mindset of shifting away from weight loss still is hard. Stepping on that scale and seeing the scale go up or down and be within that couple pound range and have it not be a loss and not being disappointed over it is still weird. Like, I'm like, oh, why didn't it go down? Oh wait, I don't want it to. And like, seeing things be relatively stagnant for now has been weird, but that's what I want, and my brain just hasn't accepted it yet because I've spent so much time in caloric deficit mode. So this whole experience is a brand new thing for me, and I am so excited to continue to share it with you here on my channel. My channel, if any of you have been around since the beginning, has run the gamut of all sorts of different subject matter and all different parts of my weight loss journey. From all the way from being down at goal weight, maintaining a goal weight, and going up and going down a little bit, and going up and going down a little bit. It has been here through Points Plus, First Smart Points, Weight Watchers Freestyle, transitioning to iTrack Bites, transitioning to calories, transitioning back to Points Plus, and transitioning to calories, and now macros. My channel has been doing so many things, but the one thing that has remained is the goal of weight loss. And for now, that goal no longer exists. Now, before you hit that unsubscribe button, here's something that I need to make very, very clear. Just because I'm not aspiring for weight loss right now doesn't mean that I am not aspiring to make the healthiest choices, to make delicious, nutritious meals and find delicious and nutritious products to share with you, that I'm not still exercising the heck out of my body, because I am. Even more so, just today I lifted the heaviest weights I have ever lifted, and I am going to continue to lift even heavier with the goal of growing the muscle with the extra calories that I'm taking in. I might change my body composition without losing a single pound, because if I gain muscle, my body fat percentage goes down automatically because more percentage of my body is muscle and less fat. There are still amazing, healthful changes that are going to happen here on Diva and the Divine. So I hope that if you are new, you hit that subscribe button, and if you've been a subscriber for a while, you decide to stick around. So with all of that in mind, let's chat about the plan. I started my reverse diet officially on October 9th. My original plan was to start the day after my birthday, or the day on my birthday, which is November 14th. And I actually ended up realizing how hard I was struggling to stick to my caloric deficit goal that I acquired through this Macros 101 course that I'm taking. And I was just so frustrated that I couldn't stick to it. And so I talked to a couple people in the program and they're like, why don't you just start early? Why don't you just let it go and reverse early, and then you'll be in maintenance mode around your birthday? I'm like, you know what? That's a great idea. So I did, and on October 9th, I upped my calories. The way a reverse diet works is, like I said, you gradually increase your caloric intake. So I had a goal of 1,500 calories a day. That week, I upped it to 1,600 calories a day. The way the macro adjustment works is your protein goal remains the same. So my protein goal is specifically a certain percentage of my body weight. And since my body weight is not planning on changing during this process, my protein goal of 140 grams, yes, it is a lot, is going to remain the same throughout this entire process and ultimately into maintenance mode, which means how you change your calories in your macros is adding those 100 calories via fat or via carbohydrates. It can be 25 carbs, 11 grams of fat, or some combination of the two to equal 100 calories. As of the filming of this video, my goal is 1,800 calories a day. So I've already increased from 1,500 to 1,800. Still have 140 grams of protein as a goal, 175 carbohydrates, and 60 grams of fat. And I actually ended up taking a couple of the carbohydrate grams and giving them to fat, because in the way that I like to eat, which is more Fab4 a la Kelly LeVeque in the book Body Love, it requires more fat and less carbs. So I took some of my macros from carbs, not all of them, but a couple of them, and gave myself a little extra room for more fat because I'd like to eat healthy fats. And as of the filming of this video, that is where I am sitting. Hopefully, by the time you see this, I will be at 1,900 or even 2,000 calories and working my way up. And then the way that this ends up working is, every week you weigh yourself and you measure your waistline. And if your weight continues to go down, you're still in a caloric deficit and you get to add more calories. The ultimate goal here is trying to find what maintenance is for you. So if your weight goes down, you add 100 calories. And you keep doing that until your weight consistently stays the same. And hopefully, I don't know what that's gonna look like for my body. Hopefully it's somewhere between 2,000 to 2,200 calories, maybe more if I'm lucky, but I have absolutely no idea. And the macros will adjust accordingly as I continue to add calories in. Once I am at maintenance mode, I plan on eating at maintenance mode until February or March, probably March 1st at the latest. And then after eating in maintenance mode until March, yes, that is November, December, January, and February. That is 4 months, or an entire third of a year, that I will be deliberately not trying to lose weight, but trying to maintain my weight. And then in March, I will drop my calories, do a cut, end up in a caloric deficit to strive for some fat loss and some weight loss. And I'll do that for maybe 8 to 12 weeks, maybe no more than 20, and then I will reverse back up again. And I will continue that cycle until I am at my desired body composition, body fat percentage, weight, whatever you want to call it. And then I will go up to maintenance mode and I will stay there. That is the plan. I'm officially playing the long game here, ladies and gentlemen. No more how fast can I lose, no more dependence on what the scale actually says, but instead, if you notice, all of the goals are time-based, not weight-based. I will be in maintenance until March 1st. I will cut until 2 months later or 3 months later or whatever I decide, regardless of what the scale says. Then I will reverse and maintain for another couple months. Then I will cut for another set period of time, regardless of what the scale says, until I'm where I want to be. It doesn't matter if this takes me an entire year. It doesn't matter if it takes me 3 years. Knowing that I will get there is all that matters, because I have wasted so much time treading the same water over and over and over again, and I'm done. I don't want to do it anymore, and this is such a practical application to do it in a healthful and in a way that manages the time well. It allows me to enjoy life, enjoy food, and work on my nutrition and health and PRs and gains and all those things all at the same time, because I take weight out for a little while. And I need it for my mental health as well as my physical health, and I am very, very excited to be embarking on this journey. Seeing how I started this at the beginning of October, I've already seen a lot of FAQs, so I wanted to address them here for you as well. Will I still be tracking my food? Yes, yes, 100% yes, maybe even more meticulously than I have been before. The point is not to let go of tracking. The point is to increase your calories. But in order to reverse properly, and admittedly I have not been perfect at this, but my body is still responding the way I want it to, thank goodness. In order to properly add in the calories and figure out what your true maintenance mode is, you need to be accurate in tracking your calories and your macros, because it's the only way you're going to get the data necessary to figure out what your ideal maintenance is for you. So yes, I will be tracking. I'll still be using iTrackBites, and I will be using the calorie command tool with the macros secondary metric turned on. What kind of foods will you be eating? I'll be eating the same foods I've always been eating. I'll be eating high protein. I'll be eating vegetables and fruits and foods that are so healthy for you, whole grains and healthy fats. But I will also be enjoying some treats. Yes, when you get extra calories like that, it's okay to go ahead and have a treat or two. The key here is going to be balance, as it has always been. I am not going to just turn my diet into a junk food diet. That's not what this is. I'm still going to remain healthy. I'm still going to remain nutritious, even more so. And I want to fuel my body for muscle building and for optimal fitness and recovery, and not just be like, I have 2,200 calories to screw with. Let's go to McDonald's. That's not what I'm gonna do. However, if the need arises where we're on the road or doing something and we need to stop at McDonald's, I will be making good choices, but I will not be afraid to have a treat as well. There is an element of balance that will remain in all of my food choices. Will you still be working out? Yes, and harder than I was before. I will be focused more on weightlifting and less on cardio, but I will still be focused on the working out. I want to lift heavier. I want muscle gains. I want body recomposition and body building while I'm busy taking in all of this extra food. So I will definitely be working out. Will you still be tracking macros? Yes, I will. Will you be adding in foods that you haven't had in a long time? Yes and no. I've been adding those foods in ever since I kind of put the kibosh on Weight Watchers and decided that I deserved to eat real food and full fat cheese and regular sugar and still track my food. So there's nothing that's ever been off limits to me, but I will be more ready and able to mentally and in my tracker enjoy some more indulgent things a little bit more frequently than I have in the past. So those are just a couple of the questions that I've been getting nonstop since I started this whole process. So I want to hear from you. Do you have any other questions for me regarding this entire process of reverse dieting into maintenance mode and everything that goes along with it? Leave them as comments in the comments section down below, and maybe later on, once I have another month or two of this under my belt, maybe after the holiday season when I'm full on in maintenance mode, I'll do a Q&A session and answer all of your questions based on my experience. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And if you are interested in following along with this journey and you're not already a subscriber, you know where that red subscribe button is. I really do hope you guys will stick with me for the journey as I am adventuring on this new adventure in my health and wellness. I'm so excited about it. I think it will ultimately bring awesome and amazing things and ultimately get me down to the goal that I have been clawing my way after for so long to begin with. So your support is so greatly appreciated as I go forward and do this new experience on behalf of myself for the rest of you. I will share every bit along the way, don't you worry. Thank you guys for taking the time to watch, to hear my story, and to understand what I am going through. I appreciate it as always. Take care, be well, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.